ladies and gentlemen, rocksters all around the world, it's that time of the month. It's that time, not quite that time of the month. It's time of the month where we reveal our album of the month. We reviewed 8 albums from this particular sleazy group of people, and now it's time to reveal our votes to find out which of their albums that we have enjoyed the most. And just to give you a rundown, we reviewed Loch, Vostok, Mark of the Beast, SeeYouSpaceCowboy, Two Big Race, Kipichi, There Goes the Neighbourhood, Praying Mantis and Defiance, Dandy Warhols, Rockmaker, Imminence of the Black, and About Us and Take a Piece in no particular order. This is where we reveal, will they hit our Hall of Fame? And just to remind people, some albums for you to really look out to that we've rated the most this year. Our number 1 album of the year so far is Dead Poets Society of Vision, Static X and Project Gen Volume 2, Amaranth and the Catalyst, Atreyu and the Beautiful Dark of Life, Self Hell and While She Sleeps, The Struts are Pretty Vicious, Illumishade and Other Side of You, and Blind Channel and Atic Emotions are all albums that we have got into our Hall of Fame, and and are our top albums of the month. So let's crack on then. Who got into our? In which order did we rate our albums? In 8th place, I can reveal. And they all did quite well actually. But in 8th place was the Dandy Warhols and Rockmaker.
A surprise to be sure.
Yeah. Well, actually, myself and Dom give this both 4s. That was the highest mark of it. And everybody else was kind of middle. But Simon, you only give us a 1, mate. It was a bit shocker.
It deserved it.
Not wrong.
It earned the 1.
Well, Will was far ahead of you. He was a 1.5, and Trish was a 2. But yeah, 2.8 overall. And more importantly, bizarrely, we've so far we have reviewed 362 albums in total, and we've reviewed 60 albums so far this year. So that was in 264th place. So it's certainly not the worst albums that we've reviewed. So mediocre, but 48th out of 60 this year so far. But So anyway, in 7th place is Praying Mantis and their album Defiance. That got a 2.9, and it's our 245th album rated. So almost in the top half of our all-time list. But there we go. I think a lot of us, fairness, was very middle of the road. Simon, very much on the low side, only a 1.5 there, mate.
Yep. Well deserved. Well earned.
Better than Dandy Warhols, is that right?
New wave heavy metal is really not your scene, is it? So.
Yeah, crashed old waves are not really my thing. They're long gone.
Yeah. Cully, you were the highest, along with Don with a 3.5.
It was just, I liked it enough to be able to put it up above just, it's not middle of the road, it was slightly better than that, but it wasn't great, as I said in the review. So it was just a case of it can't quite get into the sort of the higher level. So I think it was the musicality more than the more than anything else that got it. But things like that repetition at the end of what's it called, Feeling Lucky, just no need for it. 45 seconds of outro for a song like that, you just don't need. So in my opinion, that's why it had to come down a little bit.
Okay, in 6th place, we have Belmont and their album Liminal. Got an average of 3.2. 205th overall, 38th for the year so far. Highlights on that voting. Very much middle of the road, apart from Will with a massive 4.5 and Simon with a 4, one far behind. Everybody else was 2.5s or 2s across the board. But you two, obviously, metalcore, your cup of tea.
I'm thoroughly enjoying how each of mine and Soen's votes have been half a point off each other for everyone so far.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's pop punk, isn't it? It's just a fun vibe of times.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay. In 5th place is Kapichi, and there goes the Neighbourhood. 3.3 is in our top half, 189th and 33rd for the year, so that's not really going to get into the album of the year. Highlights for me, I enjoyed it. I give this a 4. I thought it was a wonderful combination of punk and ska and indie. I thought it was really good. Otherwise, pretty much Cully and Will. Will, you surprisingly though, based on review, I'm a bit higher. You give this a 3.5.
What was that, the Kid Kapichi?
Yeah.
No, it's a 2.
Yeah. Oh,
I'll give that a 2.
Maybe I got it
That's
the wrong
what
way around.
my sheet from you says, my good sir.
Oh, okay, well, I'll check that out. Okay, my apologies. But yeah, Dom, Trish, Gully, all 3s and so forth, so, fairly good. So, okay. In 4th place, well, we'll be seeing him again, I think. SeeYouSpaceCowboy. Coup de Grâce, also 3.3, but got some higher votes. Again, Will, you're the flag carrier here with a 4.5, and Trish give it a 4. You're the flag carriers for SeeYouSpaceCowboy.
Enough said. It was weird, funny, and loud. Brought me joy.
However, I wasn't the lowest vote because that was Cully with a 1.
Yeah.
It's weird, quiet, and loud.
It started off really well with the collaboration with I think it's Iris, and then it goes into all the stuff I dislike about Screamo because it's always there, pretty much all the time, and yeah, it's just not my cup of tea at all. But musically, they still deserve the point. They earned that bit. So.
Yeah, they deserved a coup de grace.
No, I wanted one.
Right, so we are into our final 3. Will it be Loch, Vostok and Opus? Will it be Take a Piece, or will it be Imminence and The Black? In 3rd place is About Us and Take a Piece. Scored 3.4 overall. 164th, so definitely the top half of our albums that we've ever reviewed. 26th for the year, so not quite made our top 20. Very, very across the board voted on this. Dom was the highest, 3.5, and then we had Cully and Simon at 3.5s, Will with a 3. So very much, I also give it a 3. So very much kind of middle of the road kind of voting from us all there, really, on that score. Mm. Okay, in 2nd place, will it be Loch, Vostok? Will it be Imminence The Black? In 2nd place, well, I'll reveal the winner by actually quite a margin, actually. And the winner for Album of the Month is Imminence and The Black. We'll come back to that in a minute. Loch, Vostok was 3.5, 139th overall in our 362 albums. Were really highly rated. Joint 22nd for our album of the year. Both me and Cully giving 4s on that score, and then otherwise pretty good voting. Simon and Dom are 3.5s, Will and Trish 2.5. So overall, people have really enjoyed that album. But interestingly, though, the winner for the month with 3.9, just short of our album getting into our Hall of Fame, and 57th overall of our all-time favourite albums. 9th, it gets into our top 9 of our albums. So will it stay there? Will it get into our top 20? That's going to be a kind of tight cut-off, really. Ultimately, our metalcore group of fans loved it. Simon with a 4, Will with a 4.5, Dom with a 4, and Trish with a 4.5. Don't know what's happened to that woman, for God's sake.
She has seen the light.
She has definitely seen the light. Unfortunately,
or the dark, one of the two.
It was actually
the black one, might say.
Yeah, it was my worst album of the year. Month. I hated it. 1, and Cully was on average on there with a 2.5. So. Yeah, mate. Will, your standout album of the month then, by the sound of it?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely my favourite of the bunch. Very enjoyable, fun little Swedish metalcore time. Very enjoyable. Lovely stuff.
Oh, definitely Trish's outstanding album of the year. So there we go, then. So Imminence The Black winning our album of the month of this this group of retrobates from that side of things as well. So check it out if you're into your metalcore. This definitely is a standout album. Didn't reach the heights of some of the metalcore albums reviewed this month, but it wasn't far off and is top 10 at the minute for the year. So thank you very much. Thank you to my wonderful panel, to Chris, to Simon and to William. Please hit the like and subscribe button and tune in again. We've got another 8 albums to come, just with a different bunch of guys. Bye for now, everybody.